To paraphrase Fred VanVleet, any way you can get it. 104 to 103, the Toronto Raptors take Game 3 in their best-of-7 series with the Eastern Conference rival, the Boston Celtics, on a last half-second shot from young OG Anunoby on the huge assist from Kyle Lowry over the wall that is Taco Fall. Welcome. This is Raptors Night Cap, brought to you by Sterling Vineyards, a leader in Napa Valley wine. Akil, Augustine, joined by, most importantly, Sherman Hamilton, also Amy Audibert, and yes, Randy's still here. And we'll hear from Savanna Hamilton later in the show. But first, I start with Sherman Hamilton. We'll get to the game, but you were calling this on the radio, 0.5 seconds on the clock, Taco defending the inbound. Take me through your reaction to what can be dubbed the shot 2.0, maybe?
It's pretty close, Akil, when you think about it. I will say this, though. The possession before for the Raptors were defensively, they had that lapse where Pascal didn't drop down to pick up Daniel Theis on that backdoor drop-off from Kemba Walker. You could feel the air taken out of that situation. You have Kemba Walker up above the three-point line. You're unable to corral him. And not only does he get out of that double team, he finds a teammate for a wide-open look. The Raptors had every reason to shut it down at that point. We move forward to that pass, that play. Kyle had to go through at least on that play call before he decides to throw it across the court to OG in the corner. And what happens in 0.5 is pretty interesting because although you have time to get a shot off, it's got to be a quick shot. And OG did a good job of catching that ball high enough so he could go straight into his motion to shoot the basketball and make that shot. But an unbelievable turn of events. And those are the type of moments I feel that they got from that championship run last year. No situation can't be overcame. There's no situation that they can quit on, because they understand if there's time, they continue to do what they do, they'll have a chance to win. And I think that's what you get from going through a championship run, the highs and lows, the tough moments, the good moments. You stay even keel, you believe in the process, and you continue to know that you can make a play.
Speaking of being Amy, an ecstatic OG Anunoby. You saw his reaction when he made that shot. He was losing it or not. Maybe we don't know what's going on inside his head. But how were you reacting to the shot 2.0?
I think the same thing. It just kind of stunned a little bit. The reactions to me that will stick with me, obviously the shot, but Kyle Lowry banged in 2-and-1s in the first couple minutes of this game. You saw the same type of reaction. These guys understand, like, their season's done if they don't win this game, essentially, today, right? And so, yes, we hit the shot, but, I mean, it gives them another game. They've got to be better. They've got to be better next game to continue on in their season. So I think that they've done a great job today of understanding the moment and finding a way to, as they say, survive and advance.
Yeah, to piggyback on what you guys have said, I mean, about a minute to go, Kyle made two really tough layups that were, I think, just so critical for them to at least have a chance at a game-winning shot, right? And then, of course, Fred's layup with 21 seconds to go was as tough as it comes, right? And he had been bounced a few times, no call, again, another no call. I'm not sure if he got bounced. Certainly hit the floor when he did finish that. And then on that defensive lapse, you know, I think everybody thought Kemba was kicking it out, including me, just the way the play developed and the angle that he was going. And when Pascal saw Kyle kind of step up, I think Pascal thought, oh, man, we got two guys open on the wings. I'm going to start to run it there. You know, not the play that they wanted. But, you know, I know basketball. Like, I played it a little bit. I know. And when the ball was in the air going to OG, in my head, I was like, oh, man, there's 25 seconds ago. I'm like, oh, yeah, the clock doesn't start until – and, of course, I know that. But it was just like it was the longest pass ever. It felt like it took an eternity to get there. And then he just rose up and shot it. And I was just absolutely stunned. And, you know, I think saying all along, they just have to get one. And that is like a huge monkey off their back, I think, going forward.
All right, sure. Let me ask you about Kyle Lowry's performance. He was clutch down the stretch. Randy alluded to it, the tough buckets, completely engaged, really putting the refs to task. And on a night when they're not getting a lot of contribution from different players in the roster, the minutes really added up for Kyle. That was a super impressive performance. Your thoughts, Kyle. Your impression of what the young man did on the court there.
Well, Kyle was tired. I mean, he was at 45, 46 minutes into the game with 39 seconds left, and I think he turned to Nick Nurse and he said, "Hey, we need a timeout right now. Forget about the play call. I need a break." And, that's what you have to do. I mean, you have 48 hours to figure it out. Get your body right, get your wind back. But in the moment of the game, there's none of this, I'm too tired to get the job done. And I think Kyle showed that. And this is a situation where, as we know, Kyle is the guy who's going to play with all the energy. He's going to throw his body around. He's going to sacrifice his body. He's going to bounce around. I feel he expends too much energy at times, but he can't play any other way. So when it comes down to the end of the game, what you need to do is make sure that he has a pocket of time to catch his breath so he can make the next few plays. And I thought that Nick Nurse calling that timeout really helped him. But at this point, as a leader on the team, it doesn't matter. He's got to do whatever it takes in any situation to help his team win. That's what he's there for. And he understands that. And I think his number was 46, 47 minutes tonight. That's a big number. But without those 46, 47 minutes, we don't know if this team gets a chance to go 2-1 in this series. They might be down 0-3. So I think that understanding the gravity of the situation, it didn't matter about fatigue. It was about getting the W. They got it. He can go get his electrolytes and all of his salt back after the game.
All right, Amy, let's talk about that second half of the Toronto Raptors. In this series, their offense had betrayed them. Third quarter, they kind of picked it up. Fourth quarter, they tried to junk it up with some of those 1-3-1 defensive options. Your impression of the second half, because that's really the story of this game.
It was. And obviously, they have to win the game. That's the most important thing. To me, the second most important thing that we saw happen was Freddie hit a couple shots and Norm hit a couple shots. Now, they have to be more consistent, obviously, to get another win. But in the second half, I thought when Cantor got in there, that's where Toronto really started to pick the defense apart, find some nice rhythm shots. And it was funny, every time one of those guys hit something, you feel like we're up 10. And it's like, because there's just this kind of sigh of relief. Okay, find some rhythm, get some flow. But they found a little bit. I mean, unfortunately, I think before the shot, we're going to go back to that defensive lapse because that was the scariest moment of the season for everybody, right? But I think the biggest thing in that second half was those guys did start hitting a couple shots. I think you saw Freddie, right? He started to feel a little bit better. When the camera shoots his kids there and his family on the sideline, it's a good sign. Those are the things that we like to see.
Yeah, for me, there was just Akil. There was just something different in Kyle's face right off the bat. Right, after he made that and one, there was just like a look on him that you don't see very often. Obviously he's always determined, but today was even more businesslike, and I think that really set the tone. And he was having, in my opinion, a very close to perfect game without hitting a shot. He hadn't made his first 3 shots, and then finally on a broken play, he got that 3 to go on from the corner, sort of fading away. And I thought, okay, this is it now. Now they got a chance to win because he's seen one go down. Like I'm a big believer in the Raptors are exceptionally hard to beat when Kyle makes 1-3, and it gets even harder to beat the more it goes up 2 and 3. He made 2. They needed every one of those tonight. And of course, in that fourth quarter where they were so bad from 3 last game, 5 of 9 from downtown, where Boston was 0 for 5. Obviously, that was pivotal in giving themselves a chance to win.
Let me chime in here and ask Sherm something. Sherm, during the broadcast, a lot was made, and Amy alluded to it, Cantor's minutes. That was really a period where the Raptors got him tied up in a lot of pick and rolls that allowed their offense to get going. Your impression of Brad Stevens' decision to put Cantor in and buy time without Robert Williams?
Well, I think what they were trying to do is you got to utilize him to get some minutes out of him, and he's going to play on one end of the floor. He's going to score, he's going to rebound, he's going to be active on the offensive glass. Well, I think the Raptors said, all right, we're going to raise you and say, if you want to keep him on the floor, we're going to attack him every chance we get. And that eliminates Cantor's ability to be a positive impact for the Celtics. And I thought that their ability to continually put him in situations where he had to defend really made him ineffective on the other end of the floor because Brad Stevens couldn't keep him out there for a long period of time. And Cantor's the one guy with a team like the Boston Celtics that will break you down off the dribble, multiple penetrations on one possession, that you get lost trying to rebound in those situations. Your defense gets scrambled, and as we know, the offensive glass becomes a feeding zone for a team like the Boston Celtics if you can't match up with people. And I think that the Raptors were able to eliminate that effectiveness by attacking him, and Brad Stevens ultimately had to take him out the game because the Raptors were getting too much offensively by including him in a lot of situations that he wasn't able to defend.
All right, like Cantor here and pick on you again, put you in the pick and roll again and ask you this one. Playoffs, all about adjustments from game to game. You look at what Marcus Smart and Jason Tatum did in games 2 and the performance that they had tonight. The Raptors really keyed on those two. Your impression of what they were able to do and if they can replicate what they did in order to get these two guys off their game.
Well, I thought they did a good job of crowding Jason Tatum and making him constantly have to navigate more than one body to get to his spots on the floor. And that's big because he's got a size advantage. He's very skilled. But what you want to do is try to take him out of his rhythm, speed him up a little bit, and see if that extra body will disrupt his flow. And I thought they did a pretty good job with that. As for Marcus Smart, I don't think the Raptors are concerned in terms of Marcus Smart being this deadly three-point shooter. He got hot. And when it's an NBA player that got hot in the fourth quarter and made 5 threes, that's going to happen. I don't think you overreact to that. I think you can test him. You make sure you challenge his shots, but you don't get too aggressive with your defense on him on the offensive end, which will sacrifice other areas of the floor like a Jason Tatum. I think right now their biggest concern is what Kemba Walker did. And Kemba Walker, in terms of the breakdown ability, really compromised the Raptors. I don't think you want Jason Tatum to go off like that. If one of the two you're going to let go crazy to be Kemba Walker, but you got to be careful because Kemba Walker can take a game over. But the Raptors did a lot of good things in this game, and I think that when they look at the tape, they're going to realize how many possessions and points of the game where they could have extended the lead in a big way, but they weren't able to capitalize. They get a stop, they turn it over, and they not get a basket, and that's what they can't afford to do in the next game. If they get stops, they got to punish the Celtics and not let them off the hook like they did multiple times in this game.
Yeah, I want to touch on Siakam a little bit, guys and girls. I thought, there were moments where he was, again, sort of thinking too much. He had those unnecessary fouls in the first half, 2 points only. It kind of, obviously, it really affected his game. Felt like he was tentative. Even when he tried to post up, I felt like Boston's defense was exceptional. But he tried to shoot himself out of it in the second half, and for part of it, it worked. He did give them a lead, and I thought when he saw that 3 go down, it gave him a little bit more confidence. Amy, I'll ask you, did you see enough from him tonight that suggests that he's going to have a bit of a breakout going forward?
I mean, I'm one of those, it's never enough to, I think the more other guys continue to heat up, I think he'll be able to just find his rhythm. I thought Pascal failed it because I think it was the start of the fourth quarter. He attacked the rim twice and he scored twice, and I think that was important for him. I also do want to touch on Marcus Aldo because I think the way he started the game, he met Tatum at the rim early, and I think that helped set the tone a little bit, right? Tatum was 5 for 18, so I don't want to not talk about the effort we saw from Gasol up top as well.
All right, Amy and Sherman, thank you guys so much for your time on Raptors Nightcap. We'll let you guys go have a nightcap and enjoy your evenings after the big win for the Toronto Raptors, courtesy of Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, but the man of the moment with 0.5 seconds left on the clock was OG Anunoby. Unfortunately for OG, there's more than 0.5 seconds on the clock when you got to talk to the media. So we got some time with him right now. Let's hear what he had to say post-game.
Have you ever hit a buzzer beater before? And
Okay, we'll wait to hear what we're going to hear from OG. A little technical difficulty. I'm hearing word. The internet's back up. I broke the internet, but here we go.
have you ever hit a buzzer beater before? And when you released it, did you know it was good?
Yeah, I made some in high school. And did I know I was in when I released it?
Yeah. Did
Yeah.
it feel good when you?
It felt good.
What were you thinking when you saw it go through? And also, what do you think of the pass Kyle made?
Yeah, Kyle made a great pass. He waited long enough and threw it in the air quick enough for me to get it off before they got to me. So it was a great pass from Kyle.
Just what was the feeling when you saw it go through? Obviously, we talked a few days ago. You talked about obviously missing last year and how tough that was. I mean, just in a moment like this, what was that like?
I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. Get your hands up.
Sorry,
I think we lost.
sorry, OG. We lost you there for a second. Can you just repeat that?
Like, it was cool. And just get ready for game 4 now.
All right, thanks.
Next, we'll go to Blake Murphy. Go ahead, Blake.
Congrats on that, man. I guess, so you, right after you hit it, you kind of stayed stoic. You didn't really react, but then Fred came and kind of gave you this running hug, and the rest of the guys ran over. Did you kind of feel that point where you broke and allowed yourself to like enjoy it and smile a little bit? Like, could you tell that was happening?
Yeah. It was like, yeah, I was excited. Everyone was excited for me, so it was cool. Someone hit me in the nose. So I was kind of mad about that, but it's cool.
I know this is maybe a bit of a random example, but I remember back to that your first playoff run against Cleveland. You kind of hit a big clutch 3 in transition as well, and you guys didn't end up winning that game, but it was the same kind of, a little unexpected, a huge moment. Do you feel any connection to that one, or do you think that says anything about your confidence level at all?
I mean, yeah, it's kind of similar, but we won this one, so this one was better.
What does it say to you that your teammates trust you enough to put the ball in your hands in that situation?
Oh, like, it just makes me feel good. Knowing my teammates have confidence in me, always want me to shoot the ball. Coaches want me to shoot the ball all the time whenever I get it. So it makes me feel good, and it just makes me want to stay ready to shoot.
Do you demand a few more now?
Yeah, always.
Thanks, OG.
Thank you.
Thanks, Blake. Next, we'll go to Jeff Silgett from the USA Today.
Hey, OG, thanks for a few minutes. Wanted to hear what was, how you saw the play being drawn up in the huddle. Were you the main option on the play? And, just what were your thoughts leaving the huddle and watching Boston's defense?
The play was for Pascal to get a shot, and then they switched it up top. And then Mark flashed, and I think Jalen went to him on the flash, and then left me open. So, yeah, so it was all those actions that took place that left me open. So.
Any follow-up, Jeff?
Good, thank you.
Next, we'll go to Steven from Sportsnet.
Hey, OG, congrats on the win. Congrats on the shot. I just wanted to know, the play before, obviously Kemba, kind of dropped that dime, and they got that dunk there. You guys took a timeout. What was the mood like in that timeout? What can you tell us a little bit what was discussed, and how confident were you guys?
And no one was rattled after that. Everyone stayed confident. Just the next play was focused on running this play, getting a good shot off, and confident that anyone who took a shot, they can make it. So we're just looking for the next play. The group is resilient, so just next play mentality.
Thanks, OG.
Next, we'll go to Chris O'Leary from Raptors.com.
Hey, OG. Maybe a stupid question, but just watching, you showed no emotion after you hit the shot. How did you stay so cool after such a big play?
Well, because when I shot, I expected to make it. So I don't shoot trying to miss. Every shot I shoot, I try to make it. So I was not surprised. I wasn't surprised.
And what was your feel for, I guess, you and the team's emotion through the game? Because it just seemed like it was so hard fought, and how would you assess the emotion that you guys went through the night?
Everyone will stay even keel. We know it's a game of runs. We know we're going to run. They're going to run. Just take the punches, keep going. We make our runs. They make their runs. Try to get timely stops, and just keep going.
Awesome. Thanks.
Do remember, not like you'll forget after Game 3, that Game 4 goes Saturday, 6:30, 3:30 Pacific time? Is that what that even stands for? I'm not even sure. But the Toronto Raptors will take on the Boston Celtics in Game 4. And now we are joined by someone who probably knows what that means. Savanna, Hamilton, what's going on? What does it mean? What does PMPT mean?
PM, I hope that's the evening because that's when I'll be up. But Akil, I must say I love the game of basketball, and I also really love when social is popping with games like these at the end. Oh my gosh, it was a party. Starting with Anson Henry, who's an Olympian. He said, OG hit that shot, but Kyle willed us to that win, ... Doing what leaders do. We still in it. Followed by a fan that said OG Anunoby after that shot with that Dame Lil meme. But you know what? Forget Dame Lil. He got some OG Anunoby energy all over that last play, which Leo Routens touched on, saying the best part of OG's game winner was, I do this all the time. Look and walk after he hit. It was so nonchalant. Oh my goodness. And then followed by, we got Worldwide Wob saying Kyle Lowry threw the series-saving winning dime over this. And Josh Lewenberg noting that a year ago, Kawhi Leonard played 52 minutes, most of them on one leg in a must-win Game 3 that saved the Raptors season. Kyle Lowry did the same tonight, 47 minutes, 31 points, and an inbounds pass that set up OG's game winner. Legendary night for the greatest Raptor ever. Whew.
And he had an injury too. He had a leg injury. He got kneed somewhere.
He did.
Somewhere.
It was crazy. But yeah, no, it was incredible night. So I have to ask you, Akil and Randy. I'll go start with Akil, obviously. What was better? Was it the make shot at the end by OG, or was it his walk-off swag? Honestly.
I mean, I like the walk-off swag. That's classic OG. But I think, Derrick Rose did it pretty good too. But I think it's the shot. The shot is because 0.5 seconds on a must-make. And if you look at it too on the replay, he had to contort. And once you got to change your legs and your landing position, he had to contort and crunch a bit to get that shot up. Tough shot, man. I mean, the walk-off counts for nothing without the shot. Imagine he walked off like that without making a shot.
Yeah, I joked about that before the show off camera, just saying, like, I think I like the walk-off better, but the shot was incredible. But his shot is geared for that type, right? Like, so little movement, just catch and fire. And there's a classic quote from him in that post-game scrum there where he said, he goes, I shoot. I don't expect to miss when I shoot. So obviously, which is like a perfect OG quote. But just go ahead, Savannah.
Oh, sorry. No, go ahead. One more time.
No, go ahead.
So Pat, our producer, I know, right? We're too nice. Pat, our producer, said we got to go. So real quick, can we expect this level of play from Kyle going forward? Randy, quickly.
I mean, yeah, I think so, right? Like he put on a clinic in how to use your body. Like that was just unbelievable how he was able to bounce guys the way he was and shoot the way he did.
Shout out to Sterling Vineyards, a leader in Napa Valley wine. Shouts out to Kyle Lowry and OG Anunoby. Game 4, 6:30. I'm not sure. It's 3:30 somewhere. It starts with the P. Oh, somebody hit me in my nose. That was my quote of the night. I don't know. What's my line again? I think I'm going to change it to somebody hit me in my nose. Go, Raps, go.